business and income are different. At that point, I had income. I didn't really realize, obviously didn't have a business. It was just something that created money. And it really kind of hit me like I need to focus on creating a real business. So at that point, I lost everything I had as far as like lack of income, and kind of started back over. And at that point, just started focusing on one thing: building a business, building assets, and very quickly started, basically even replaced what I was making back then. Quickly replaced that. And from that point, I always stayed niche. It never occurred to me to sell like a marketing type product or even educate people how I do it. I just kind of did my own niche thing, and I'd say for years I just did my own stuff. I didn't care about, just internet marketing, that type of stuff. I didn't follow anybody. I mean, I think it was easier for me to make money then, because the issue now is you get bombarded by everybody going, buy this, this method works, this method works. I've never fallen into any of that. I've always just done my own thing, and it's worked. I mean, if that makes sense. I've never really gone after what other people say. Never followed anybody, actually. And kind of got into it as, like affiliate marketing. I was building products, selling products, doing good. And I said, well, let me try this affiliate marketing stuff. And the minute I did that, all of a sudden my income goes way up and my workload went down. So I was doing all these little niche sites. And like, any niche you can imagine, I probably had a site in. But the problem with that is creating a product, writing a copy, writing email follow-ups, getting graphics, and you do most of my graphics. So, getting all this stuff done, it's a time-consuming process. And the minute I said, forget this, I can hit send to make money, and all I have to do is focus on putting people on my list. And I don't have to create all the gazillion, I can still create them, but not at the pace of having to do it like I did before. And really so I really fell into marketing totally by accident. Just happened to had an idea in 1999. I could sell plans. We were selling, back then we were selling $400 or $500, sometimes $600, $700 a day worth of plans. So, back then that was crazy money. Still not bad money today, but so that's kind of how it all came about. I just fell into it because of carpal tunnel. If it wouldn't have been for the carpal tunnel, I'd be working at an engineering factory now. That's complaining about working for the man.
And when did you really discover the Warrior Forum and Warrior Special Offer?
It's funny. I want to say maybe around 2000. I remember discovering the whole Warrior Forum thing. It looked interesting, but back then it wasn't evolved. And I think around 2008 or something, I'd released a few WSOs, and they did okay. But I'm like, I like bigger money. So I kind of just forgot about WSOs. And a few months ago, actually in April, I said, well, I had a product, I was going to release it on ClickBank. Now, at that point, I'd already been out to ClickBank, mastermind with ClickBank, part of their affiliate elite. It's like the top 100 affiliates in ClickBank. So I sold a boatload of stuff, and it was always through ClickBank. And I said, well, let me just try this WSO stuff. The theory was I would test it as a WSO. If it had legs, I'd take it to ClickBank. And the first WSO I did sold well over 3,000 copies. I think it was like probably one of the top 15 or 20 products ever on the Warrior Forum. It sold just a huge amount of copies instantly. And I didn't even have an OTL, didn't have a back end. I just threw it out there and said, hey, it's $7. I'll show you how I do affiliate marketing. And 3,000 copies later, I was going, this is insane. So, I knew it was always out there. A friend of mine, Jason Parker, he's really the guy. He talked me into doing the WSO. Jason Parker goes, well, Charles, you need to test it. You need to test it. I'm like, I'll put it on ClickBank. I'll put it on. Now, the interesting thing was when I released that WSO, one thing that most people don't know, I took the sales copy before it ever went on the Warrior Forum, and I'd already split tested it with my list. Already went through 10 versions of that sales copy. So when it went onto the WSO, it was already primed. I knew it converted to my own list, so I figured it would convert to the WSO list as well.
And what did you test? The headline or some other elements?
Actually, the headline, I left everything else the same because, like, the offer really couldn't change because it's already kind of created. I tested out 10 different headlines, and the one that I finally ended up with, I mean, I'm a fanatical tester. I test everything. But and kind of like your email today about headlines, I mean, that is the truth of the matter. I mean, the headline will make or break your product. Because if they won't go any further than the headline, you're not going to make any money.
Right, right. So tell me, maybe, what do you think are the top 3 mistakes people are doing when they launch their WSO?
I think the biggest thing most people don't do, now, part of it is most people don't have the list to go test with, and I understand that. But I think the biggest issues that people are doing is they're putting products out, and they go, well, I need to make some money, so I'm going to give 50%. The first couple of products I did were 100%. I did some products where I had a partner, and because of having a partner, he wanted money, and we had to do it at 50%, but I would personally like to have done it at 100. And we did some of it at 100. But the big issue is you have to understand the money's in the list. It's in the list of the buyers. The money is not in your product. Your product is the product. I'm going to be honest with you, there are tons of great products out there that never see the light of day because you can't get them out there. And it's funny that I say that. The goal of the product is to educate people, to pre-indoctrinate people, but to get people to know you, like you, and trust you through your products, then you can continue to sell them additional products. I think that's the big issue. A lot of people go, well, I need to make money, so I'm going to give 50% away. And what happens, okay, that may be great if you have 5 products to choose from. Well, there are 5 products, who am I going to choose? But when you've got guys who are, I mean, all my copy is professionally written. I don't do any copy, but you have guys like me who have professional copy written. You've done the graphics, most of these things, so you do great graphics on that. I'm going to give 100% away because I want the list. I can make more money out of that list than I can ever make selling the product. So like any WSOs that I'm doing myself, I just give away 100% on the front end, 100% on the back end. Honestly, I tell people, I got the opportunity to spend a lot of time with Rich Sheffrin and Michael Masterson from Agora. And the truth of the matter is, if you make money on your front end, you're probably doing something wrong. I would rather give 100% out of the front end, 100% of the OTO. I want to give all of it away. All I want is the buyer. So I think the biggest mistake people make is, I need to make money, so I can't give away 50%, or I can't give 100%. You make so much money giving away 100%, it's crazy. The issue is, it's kind of an advanced tactic, and most people, if they get the list, they don't know how to write emails, they don't know how to write subject lines, and they mail the list crap until the list goes, I don't want to hear from you again. I hate you, stupid spammer.
Yeah.
And you do a great job with your emails. I started opening them, and it's like you had one on
started opening.
Like,
that's good.
And I'm like, you had the one there with Steve Jobs. You had another one about headlines, but that's the kind of emails that I will open and read.
Cool.
And even if you pitch something, that's cool, but I'll still open and read it. But the biggest thing people make is once they've sold the product, and they go, I've sold a WSO product, I'm finished, I'm done, I got my money. When you sell the product, that's really when your work begins. The issue is most people are selling products and going, Charles, I can't get anybody to buy anything else. You have to absolutely over-deliver on the product. Most people make the mistake of giving you a good value. Well, guess what? I can get a good value anywhere in the Warrior Forum. That's really not the question. You have to give people an excellent value. So typically after I do a product, I do a webinar. And my webinars are quite famous because I'm usually on there animated as happy as can be. And I basically indoctrinate people into what I call the code of Charles. That means I've got to over-deliver to my buyer.
The code of Charles.
That's what I have to over-deliver to the buyers on the product. The email they get has to bond with them. It's like, hey, this is Charles, get the product, look at it, give me your feedback, join me on Facebook, and then I actually get people to follow me. Goes, hey, this is Charles. How'd you like the product? Do you have any questions? We're doing a webinar, next week. If you got any questions, get on the webinar. It's free, and the webinars are positioned as bonuses. And what happens? That gives me one more interaction. I can interact with those customers, and because when you buy any product, no matter how good it is, there are always questions, regardless of what. The people always have additional questions. That means it's virtually impossible to cover everything in a product. So on the webinar, when you're answering people's questions, you've got another chance to bond with them. you've got another chance to almost pre-sell them onto your next product.